Beatty lies about 2 hours north of Las Vegas. It would be kind of in the middle of nowhere if it wasn't so close to Death Valley. The entrance to Death Valley is about 8 miles to the west of Beatty. If you're going to visit Death Valley, this is not a bad option to stay in. The hotels are quite a bit cheaper, and it is actually a town that's gone through a lot of renovation. I first got to Beatty in about 1972, and it was part of a college class in geology that I was taking. On this visit, I actually made two visits, but one of the visits that I made most recently, I've seen the most change in the town. It seems like there's a vitality that's taking over Beatty. And I think that's contributable to one unique individual. I'm going to cut in just a couple quotes from him. This appeared on the Wonderhussy channel, and I'll give credits to her channel, but she interviewed him. His name's Ed Ringel, but we'll get back to Ed in just a minute. As so often in the Southwest, the thing that makes a community is water. And Beatty lies in what is called the Oasis Valley. It's actually on the Armagosa River, but it actually has springs. And I actually was very curious why this little town had thrived since 1905. A little bit about naming the town. The town was named after a gentleman named Montullus Murray Beatty, called Old Man Beatty to the locals. He was also the gentleman that settled on a ranch there, and then later the ranch grew into the town. Actually, he arrived in that area in 1896, just after he got out of the military service. But then in 1904 or '05, depending on how you find it in the history books, the town was established. This town really grew for a couple reasons. There was the Bullfrog mining district in the area that thrived again because of water in the area. And then there was another community which I originally came for, and that's called Rhyolite. And I'll talk about Rhyolite in the next video. But back to Beatty. Beatty has this energy that, say, Tonopah, Nevada doesn't have. And it's due to the enthusiasm of Ed Ringel. And I'm going to cut into a couple Wonderhussy videos and give her credit. These are interviews she did with Ed Ringel. And so he's one big reason for the changes within the town.
And what are you known for here in town?
Being a little crazy.
Okay, Ed Ringel might be more than a little crazy, and we'll get to that in a minute. But the main thing I know him for is that he's the guy who built the biggest gas station in town.
Eddie World! This is the guy that Eddie World is named after. If you've ever driven up and down US 95 from Reno to Vegas, you have certainly passed the Eddie World gas station. They got a ton of candy, jerky, Subway, good gas. That's him.
And the one in between LA and Las Vegas.
That's right. There's also an Eddie World outside Barstow, and that's the biggest gas station in California, right?
Right, and that's owned by my son.
Okay. How'd you find Beatty, Nevada?
A bus driver came to me. I had a store like Eddie World, but it wasn't called Eddie World. And we were talking about opening the casino, and he said, if I was going to open a casino, I would open it out in Beatty. I go, Beatty, where's Beatty? And then he explained it to me, and he goes, it's expensive rooms in Death Valley. So if you have rooms less expensive here.
Oh, right, because we're right outside Death Valley.
Yeah, we're 7 miles away.
Okay, come to find out, Ed always wanted to open a casino. And thanks to that bus driver's helpful tip, he realized there aren't many places to stay in Death Valley, but Beatty is one of the closest towns to the park. So after building the Stagecoach Casino, he added on a hotel and then built a Motel 6 and the Death Valley Inn.
Really great additions to the town, but he's been there 42 years. Quite a story of an individual, but I think it's his energy and vision that's really caused Beatty to thrive. They have all kinds of activities like Beatty Days and things like that. I wandered around town on a Sunday, decided that I was going to take a little R&R at the Motel 6 before I headed back down to the bustle of Southern California. The comment is, in just a few years, the museum there, which is free, doubled in size. The town itself was really neat. There are some friendly little cafes that only seen a few people. It's obvious that the people in the town know each other and there's a connection there. And again, I don't know why, but it's got a different vibe than, say, Tonopah. And I'm not totally foreign to the culture in Nevada. I lived in Las Vegas for a while. And if you were in the older parts of Las Vegas that had been there for a while, everybody was very friendly to each other. Beatty kind of had that flavor, but it also had energy. And I think Ed Ringel's the reason behind that. I'm going to walk around, show you a few of the photos that I took. Again, I'll keep the video pretty quick because I want to get on to Rhyolite. Rhyolite is a whole story unto itself. And it's kind of neat to see a little town that's thriving. Hi guys, I just want to show you something. Right here is water. Beatty lies in what's called the Oasis Valley. That mountain in the background, the big brown mountain, Beatty's just on the other side of that. Across from me is a gentleman fishing in a little boat. Again, to have water like this in the desert is just pretty amazing. Again, just not more than 3 miles outside of Beatty. And in town, there's some water features too. So anytime you mix the water with the desert, it's kind of a magical oasis environment.